I want to thank you for joining me today. And before we get started, as always, all messages that are released on this channel are my truth. And that is exactly what it is and what it always will be. And that is my truth. Now, my truth consists of a bunch of experiences that I gained clarity from, which ultimately took me back to the real me, which is truth. Now, when I try to convince you that my truth is the gospel, however, my truth is the gospel for me. That does not make it the gospel for you, nor will I ever try to make it the gospel for you. By me being on this platform, I am simply placing breadcrumbs on a path that I've already walked. Now, you find yourself on a similar path and you resonate with said breadcrumbs and you say, you know what, I like that. I want to follow that. And that's cool. If not, that is cool as well. My purpose is to assist those who are ready to get out of their own way. So let's get right into it. All right. So, I want to hop back on with another message. Actually, I don't know if this is a message or just plain simple advice. Either way, it is some information that needs to be said. And that is never judge a book by its cover. You have no idea what people are going through when you see them. But yet, it's so easy, extremely easy to judge someone when you have no idea what they're going through. You should have your focus, your energy, your mind on you and only you. At no point should your lips utter anything about someone else because you know nothing about that person. Even those that are quote unquote close to you, you should not judge. You know, this season that I coming out of taught me so much. So much. And it gave me a lot of wisdom. A lot. More than I was prepared to receive, actually. More than I expected to receive. It helped me get to know the real me, and it helped me see who actually was for me and who was against me the whole time. So these different seasons provide different things to different people. And that's what they're for. The majority of your tough times, rough seasons, whatever you want to call it, is designed with one purpose and one purpose alone: to get you closer to God, to get you back on fully God's side, because that's what you're here for. We've fallen. But just like I'm coming out of my rough season, the earth is coming out of its rough season as well. Understand this. The earth, you see all these changes, the sun, everything is changing. It's because the earth is evolving. It is awakening back to its original state. And as it does this, it has to, in order for it to be at the vibration that it is going to, it has to release what no longer serves. So its vibration is rising. And all those that are attached to the earth, vibrations have to rise as well. And if they don't, I'm going to leave it simple. They will perish. And it's not being mean or rude or or putting out fear. It's truth. But that's a whole totally different subject than right now. Right now, I'm talking about why you should not judge a book by its cover. I'm going to read a scripture real quick. Matthew 7. Judging others. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged with the measure you use. It will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye, you hypocrite? First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pig. If you do, they will trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. The funny part is that scripture I saw fully when I started changing, evolving, ascending. When I was in my rough season, that's when all these changes were occurring. So those that were around me saw that as the perfect opportunity to kick me while I was down. But as I said, you should never judge a book by its cover. Your eyes can only see less than 1% of the color spectrum. Less than 1%. We live in a world that's more spiritual than it is physical. So when these individuals thought I was alone and nobody was there, you couldn't see who was protecting me or what is protecting me, which is a lot. You couldn't see the ancestral protection that I have while I'm on my path of clearing that energy that all those that came before me did not do. So when I got on my path and I was in that rough season and I started clearing out all this energy that those that came before me did not do, they were assisting me. Because by clearing out this energy, it frees them. So of course they're providing protection. But you can't see that with your physical eyes. All you see is someone who is going through a rough time right now. So because you can see that rough time with your eye, you think that's all there is. But there's more unfolding behind the scenes. That rough season prepared me for who I am. You see, when you're going through something, it can do one or two things because we do have the freedom of choice. What happens is a lot of people fall into that negativity that was put onto them. You know what? Everybody's like this. And I've been hurt by XYZ amount of people. You know what? Everybody I come in contact with now, I'm going to give them that same thing that I've been getting. Boom. You just chose to go the dark path. When also, what's another choice? Dang, I had so many people hurt me. What's going on with this? Why am I attracting these people into my life? What inside of me do I need to fix so I do not attract these type of individuals? That's also a thought process. I'm not here to judge anyone and say, oh, you're wrong, you do this, you do that. No. What you do for you. You don't get it right this time, then you come back until you do. That's why I know That's why I use the word primordial. I know my soul is extremely ancient because a lot of things do not appeal to me. They don't jealousy, envy, all this other stuff, backstabbing people, betray, all this other stuff. It's like I know at some point in time I went that route in another life, not in this life, because it has no pull to me whatsoever. And it never has, and it never will. No matter what occurs in my life, it does not push me to the dark. Why? Because when I was young, I saw so much dark, it ingrained in me, I don't want to be like that. So I did everything to avoid becoming like certain people. But if I still kept those certain people in my life, I just made excuses for them. But this past season, I couldn't make any more excuses because it was too plain for me to see. Just like that scripture. I was surrounded by a bunch of hypocrites. And that's one thing I can't stand is a hypocrite. I can't. I have no problem being called out on anything that comes out of my mouth. No problem, because I do not want to be a hypocrite. So if I'm doing something that I say I'm not doing, I welcome being called out on it. Oh, dang, I didn't look at it. I am. Oh, let me change that then. And that it will be an immediate change if I say I'm not doing something. But when I was in my low season and I started to go into observation mode, I was like, wow. It was just more apparent, which is even more of a reason that I was in that low season, because of my heart, because of my loving, caring, unconditional love that I was giving to everyone. Did they need that love? Absolutely. Did they deserve that love? Absolutely not. When I started changing and I understood how energy was working and I was trying to tell individuals, but at that point, I'm still at the bottom, right? But I'm trying to give pearls to the swine. And they trampled over those pearls. Like I said, that scripture rings so true. To them, I was speaking nonsense. Then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm still in this low position. So stop talking about it and be about it. So that's what I did. Multiple conversations I had with the mother figure. And I told her two specific things multiple times. One, I will not be controlled by anyone ever again. I went as far as breaking it down to her. I said, the first 38 years of my life on this planet were under someone else's thumb. The first 18, I said, no offense, I was under y'all rule, and y'all had a tight rule. Then I went on and said, from there, I jumped out of the frying pan right into the fire. Went into the military for 20 years. And obviously, you're under full control then. So 38 years, the first 38 years of my life, I did not control. So when I retired and I got a taste of that freedom, I was like, oh yeah, I will never give this up again. And I told her that. And the second thing I told her, I said, there's so much disrespect in this family. I'm like, it's crazy. I said, I hope no one ever crosses me wrong. I said, because they're going to see a side that they never saw. I said, I'm not all hee hee, ha ha, kiki in love. But that's what I choose to be. See, I know both my sides. thoroughly. And I'll have to put out a little message on that one as well. Like the pendulum swings. I kind of dabbled into it to another message. But your capacity, whatever your capacity, and I have a high capacity for light. So naturally, that pendulum has to swing back the other way for darkness. So the higher you ascend, guess what? The more light you hold, the more dark you hold as well. So you have to have balance. It's all about balance. I know that. So see, what happens is, because I have a high capacity for light, see, what it is circumstances were placed on my path trying to get me to switch over to that dark side. Because my capacity for dark is just as big as my capacity for light. So they wanted me to dive into that dark. Absolutely not. Why? Because I respect life. I love life. So I'd rather be taken off this planet than for me to go dark and have to hurt other people. That's not my purpose. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to assist. I'm here to help, not hurt, not hinder. If someone came up to me right now with a check for $1 trillion in a little box with the red button on top of it, and they say, hey, I'm gonna give you this check for $1 trillion, and all you got to do is press this red button. And when you press this red button, you see that homeless guy over there who's laying over there in a pile of shit with flies flying all around him, with no shoes on, haven't had a bath in over 6 years. You see that guy right there? You press this button, he's going to die, and you're going to get this check. It's not, you're not even going to have to get your hands dirty. All you got to do is press this button. That's it. Sadly enough, the majority of people will press that button. There's no amount of money on that check that will make me press that button. Because that life, that homeless person that you quote unquote see, is a being. And I don't know what season of life that being is in. I don't care how long this person has been homeless. I don't care what he's covered in. It is not my role to say he's not producing, so he's nothing. I know nothing about that man. So I'm going to take his life for something that's not real. His life is real. See, people don't understand that these beings, entities, use you to do their dirty work because they can't do it. So they get another real being to take out another real being. And they use status and money and all these other different things to get you to do it. And you're more susceptible to doing it when you're in survival mode. When you're going through rough times, that's when these things appear. I don't care what I'm going through. I'm not going to do it. And I advise you not to do it as well. Because that can be the biggest mistake of your life. Because you don't know who is protecting that quote unquote
homeless person. All you see is a homeless person covered in shit. But what you can't see is that spiritual army behind that homeless person. That they could have put him in that situation because they needed that person to wake up. Maybe that person was being cruel and doing this and that and the other, and they put him in that position to wake up and say, you know what? I've been living wrong. And sometimes people have to get to that extent in order to wake up. Because you're so used to getting away with this or somebody saving you. That's why I say the season showed me so much. Because without that season, I wouldn't be on here putting out messages. I wouldn't be standing in my highest form yet. I needed that season because I chose right. I had more than enough opportunities to go to the dark side. But see, the thing is, every situation that pops up in my life, I see it from multiple perspectives at one time. So somebody trying to corner me and angle me into making a certain choice, it's never going to happen that way because I see from multiple angles. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, and then this is going to be his response. No, it's not. I see things from so many different angles, you don't know which angle I'm looking at it from. So to say, I'm going to do this and he's going to respond like, no, absolutely not. My mind doesn't work like that. I know the power that's within me. Now I respect it even more, which I've said on multiple messages, why I'm celibate and been, well, it's, like I said, September will be 4 years. But if you look at me, I'll be judged. Oh, he a player. I can tell he do this, that. Like, yeah, I'm a player. I'm this, that, and the other, but I haven't had any relationships with anyone in close to 4 years. But because I look a certain way, I'm judged. I'm ... Just based off how I look. Not because you know something. Just based off how I look. Which is why you should never judge. When that person speeds by you in traffic, cut you off. Asshole. You're judging. Do you know that that person didn't receive a phone call? That his little girl just got hit by a bike and he's rushing to the hospital? His wife is in labor. He's rushing to the hospital. But yet you're cursing somebody and you don't know what's going on. Like I said, very simple to judge. I'm not on here preaching to you, stuff I did not do. Like I said, these are all things I had to learn as well. Just how simple it is to judge. You see that person at the gym, sweating their ass off, and only been on the elliptical for 3 minutes. Look like somebody threw a bucket of water on them. You're judging them. Man, yeah, shit, what's going on with this person? Do you know that this person just decided, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna get my life together. Prior to that, they were alcoholics. So now they're detoxing all of that out their body. That person that you see walking down the street, that's all happy and giddy and this, that, and the other. Oh, that person never been through nothing. Do you know the past 10 years that person was in deep depression? And they finally escaped that depression. Stop judging people. Let people be. Because when you judge somebody, just like that script, you will be judged just as harshly as you're judging that person. Like I said, this season taught me so much. And also taught me I'm not going to pull others out of their rough season. If I would have got pulled out of my rough season, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't experience that growth, all of that pain that I needed to get to where I'm at right now. Just as that homeless man needs to go through whatever he's going through. Just because you're seeing that homeless man that I described earlier on the ground at his lowest doesn't mean that he can't turn it around and become a millionaire, a billionaire. Months, a year, two later. Because there are more than one millionaires out there that were homeless at one time. Quite a few, actually. Because see, sometimes we got to go all the way to the bottom before we can go to the top. So you can appreciate it. You can understand it. Stop counting people out by what you can see with your physical eyes. The last place I lived, once I walk out my back door and I turn to the left, there were two trees right there. Right? And at one point, I could stand under these trees and look straight up, like right next to the tree, and look up, and all I would see the branches, and I could see the sky. Right? Because there was nothing on this tree. Nothing. It was bare. 1 week. Less than 1 week, I would go out, I stand in the same spot, look up, I could not see the sky because it was covered in leaves and flowers and this, that, and the other. And that's the only thing I could see. I couldn't see through it. But if I'd have went out there with an axe, just 1 week prior, this tree ain't producing nothing. I can use it as wood and chop that tree down. Just because I went out in the wrong season and saw that tree and judged it. When all I had to do was wait 1 week and it produced more than enough. Stop judging people because they're in a rough season. That rough season can be forging that person, giving that person the wisdom that they're earning. Their purpose can be unfolding in that rough season. And while all of this is going on in the background, they also have protection to make sure they get to the other side. So I'm going to leave that there. As I said, I don't know what this is. A message, advice, don't know. But I do know it is needed. And as always, if you got anything out of this message, I ask you to hit your like, subscribe, and I will definitely check you in the next one.